You ready?
Yeah.
Is your hair good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hey guys, it's Bridget from Open Chair Counseling. It's been a minute. I haven't been making videos for a while for a lot of reasons. One of the most important is that I'm just not good at them. Um, I'm not good at them. They are very time consuming and they take up a lot of space on my computer, but I'm gonna try to ixnay the excuses because I do really believe in the mission of open chair counseling that if you need somebody to listen, we've got an open chair, or I used to say I've got an open chair. You may notice there's a new face on your screen. This is my husband Adam. He's also a mental health counselor, and he's going to be joining me at Open Chair Counseling. And this is one of our first videos that we're going to be doing together on the mental health channel.
We also thought that we wanted to, change it up a little bit and do some more like kind of podcast style, like kind of chiller episodes, as opposed to kind of the fact stuff that Bridget was doing before, which she might still do some of that, I think.
Might still be doing some of that, but every once in a while we'll probably throw in a video that's more like this. That's more like how do we take mental health concepts and apply them to relationships? And even though Adam and I are both mental health counselors, we do approach it from different perspectives just because we're two different people.
And just because we're mental health counselors and like our whole job is to communicate with people, doesn't mean we always communicate or handle like stuff in our relationship like perfectly, right? Like we still run into stuff all the time where it's just like, what is this person thinking? And so this is kind of like going to be us kind of talking about our relationship and talk about what it means to be mental health therapists and a couple and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah. So Adam and I are both pretty big nerds when it comes to personality types. Really big nerds when it comes to personality typing and just understanding yourself better and understanding like maybe your spouse or your best friend or a family member or a coworker or your next door neighbor or whoever you come into a relationship with. We both think that it's really important to understand yourself on a lot of different levels and understand other people on a lot of different levels, so you can communicate better, so you can know where your blind spots are and the areas where you need to work on a little bit. Adam and I are both pretty well versed in the Enneagram, if any of you guys have heard of that. I'm a 6 and he is a 5. I'm actually a 6 wing 5 to be exact, and he is a 5 wing 4.
Which we'll probably later on do a video on the Enneagram too, so don't worry too much about that one
right now. So if you've heard of it, awesome. If you haven't, no big deal. That's not what today's going to be about. So Adam actually was doing some research and found this this other type of personality assessment in the training course that he was working on.
So talk about being a nerd. I'm a massive Jordan Peterson nerd. So he has something called, which Bridget has up here, called the Big 5 personality. I'm currently taking a training on it, kind of learning about the 5 personality types and like, or personality pieces and stuff like that. And so I had taken the assessment. It's 100 questions earlier today, actually. And then Bridget was like, oh man, we found out that these things can be linked, so we can kind of figure out each other's personalities from like and how they work together. And so she was like, hey, let's talk about this.
Right. And I'm always game to find out more about myself, and how we can interact better. How can we relate to each other better? So Adam, like you said, has already taken the assessment. I'm going to take it. Little spoiler alert, I am one of the most indecisive people ever. So you're going to get to see me wrestle over 100 questions, did you say it was? So yeah, I'm so looking forward to this because it's going to be hard for me to pick an answer. This, of course, is not sponsored. You don't see this unless Apple, you know how to find me. All right, so Just to kind of give a little bit of context to this is about the Big Five. I believe it's the OCEANS acronym, like openness, neuroticism, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
You're going to be given phrases such as carry out plans, respect authority, like to solve complex problems, etc.
And then it's going to be on a scale of 1 to 5, from like strongly disagree to strongly agree.
Okay. And then it says my responses are going to be compared to 10,000 other people, so that your personality can be assessed in accordance with similarities or differences to the average person.
And we'll put the link to this in the description so that you guys can like pop to it. It's cost a few bucks, and also not a sponsor, but like just full transparency. It costs a few bucks to take it.
Yeah. So 100 questions, phrases that you respond to, and looking at enthusiasm, withdrawal, compassion, industriousness, openness. And then it'll give me some kind of report based on the answers that I selected. And then we'll be able to link ours, I think, and then be able to see like some of the areas where we fit really well and some of the areas where there's kind of a little bit of some discord going on. And actually, even today, we were already talking about, like, as you've kind of been mulling over the responses that you gave and the answers that you got, how that's even played into some of our interactions even within the last couple days or couple weeks.
Yeah, so as she gets us up, I'll just kind of talk through, like, one of the things I figured out today is that I'm, like, as low as you can possibly get in contentiousness, which means, like, really it means, like, orderliness and the ability to order your thoughts and order your actions and everything like that. So I figured out that I'm super low in that. And so what that kind of meant for us was then we were kind of talking about it tonight and this morning, and it was like, that probably explains some of why Adam is so terrible at getting done anything that involves, like, ordered thought, right? So, like, if I'm working on, like, doing, I don't know, filling out some paperwork, right? It's, like, the most sloggy of slog, like, good luck, Bridget can hound me all she wants, and it just is, like, completely, it just doesn't happen, right? And but then the reverse of that is that I'm, like, super, super high, or not super high, pretty high in openness, which means that I'm really good at, like, getting new thoughts and, like, getting new things and, like, being really open to new experiences and stuff like that. And so, like, it's just kind of an interesting thought. So I think she's almost got this ready.
I'm just looking over, like, what's the format of the test? How many times can I take it? What kind of conditions should I be in? If you are going to do this test, just a quick heads up, you can only take it once, because they don't want you, like, seeing the questions ahead of time and, like, thinking over your answer and trying to, like, get a specific score. So you can only take it once, and the kind of conditions that you should be in so that you're in the right frame of mind. Please consider the following seriously. It's best not to take this under any conditions that will make you more self-critical, which is hard for me because I feel like I'm always self-critical. You should not do it if you're hungry. You should eat something first, as well as hunger will make you more negative and judgmental if you're feeling unhappy or anxious, if you're currently depressed or suffering from anxiety. If you're rushed, wait to answer the question until you have time to think. If you're likely to be interrupted or distracted, wait until you're free of disruptions. Well, we're gonna blaze on ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, the whole point is make sure you're full, hydrated, and you have plenty, like, ample time. Try and answer the questions when you're, like, in your best mood you can be in, because then that way you're going to answer more realistically about how you are on the regular. So, you got it?
All right, here we go.
Not interested in other people's problems.
So we already saw there that the carry out her plans thing was very much higher for Bridget than for me. She, I think, gave a 4, and I think I gave maybe a 2. So.
Just feel blue, too. Interested in other people's problems, or, and not interested in other people's problems, too, because usually am, but, like, your problems are also your problems, never mind. Carry out my plans, usually I carry out my plans. Make friends easily I can. Make friends easily, or at least be social. I'm quick to understand things, I would say, for the most part, yeah. get angry easily. I'm saying like I'm neutral. Like things kind of piss me off, but like I don't know how to say angry. You know, like blowing up and screaming. Yeah, like I don't never get like angry, but like I think I get irritated. And then when things are really close to me, then yeah, I can get angry.
Respect authority. Yeah, until I find something wrong with authority. Leave my belongings.
Again, I'm pretty sure I put a 1.
For respect authority.
Yes.
I said respect authority until I find a crack in the authority, like a reason to not trust them, and then I'm very doubtful and very rebellious against authority.
Which will be an interesting thing too for us to look at is like that's been an ongoing kind of like, I don't think issue is the right word, but kind of like thing we run into where like I'm like
just a thing that we notice that's different about us.
I'm always like, forget authority. Authority's the worst thing. It's not worth like
Adam is his own authority.
Yeah. And Bridget's a little bit more consistently like, oh, I have to like, respect stuff, right? And so
I like to follow the rules.
Yeah. And so that it'll just be interesting to see what that looks like then when we get to the final assessments. So
yeah, okay.
So respect authority for leave my belongings around. In my own home, yeah, like, I don't know, in my own home, places where I feel comfortable, yeah, maybe, take charge, yeah, sometimes, enjoy beauty of nature, yeah, I wasn't, like, enamored with it every single day, but, like, yeah, it was nice saying yesterday as we were driving around, like, those group of trees, like, beautiful.
Am filled with doubts about things, strongly agree, feel other people's emotions, 4, waste my time. 3, yeah, I can definitely waste time. Am hard to get to know. Now, strangely, I actually asked you this the other day. I asked you if I was hard to get to know, because there's someone in our life that has known me for about 8 or 9 years, right? Roughly.
that person is.
Oh, I wasn't gonna say.
I'll just say it. I'm totally cool with it. Continue.
I don't know if I'll leave that in there, but anyway. So there's a person in our life that's known me for about 8 or 9 years. And the other day they were asking me questions that were just like completely irrelevant to like things that I'm interested in or things that I, take part in. And it was just kind of weird to me. And so I asked Adam, like, am I really hard to get to know? Like, have I made it really difficult for this person to understand where my priorities are or like what things I'm interested in? Because it seems like when I talk to them, they have no idea what kind of things I'm interested in. And Adam, I think you said like, no, you're not difficult to get to know. No. This person just doesn't really spend a lot of time trying to get to know you.
There's another as you continue like.
I guess I don't know how to answer this one, because sometimes I feel like I'm hard to get to know. But other times I feel like I'm a completely open book. I don't know. I'm going to say neither agree nor disagree.
This is another quick thought to talk about. There's something that exists called the Jihadi Window, which maybe we'll talk about some other time, which kind of talks about how there's like this area in your life that's known as your blind spot, where you can't see it, but other people can. And I think that's kind of what's going on there with like Bridget is thinking, one thing, and she's trying to check in on if that's true or not, because that doesn't seem to line up with like what she maybe thinks about herself, I suppose, right? Does that seem fair? So we'll maybe do a video on that at some point at a later date to dive into it a little bit deeper. Did I miss any highlight questions as you were scrolling through a few?
I'm just trying not to think too hard about them. Just trying to go with sort of my gut reaction. So I'm not reading all of them to you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is usually the best way to take any personality kind of inventory, is to just kind of go, because we like to like paint ourselves as something we're not often.
Ooh, this one though is like strongly agree. The question or the statement is, I hate to seem pushy. I think one of my most used phrases is no worries or like zero pressure. Like I never want anyone to ever feel like they're obligated to do anything for me. Yeah. So like that one, I'm like, ooh, yes. 5 out of 5. Strongly agree. Hate to seem pushy.
Which I think we make that joke about like when Harry met Sally all the time.
Which one?
On the side being
which one Harry met Sally?
Well, on the side being a very big deal, because because you don't want to be pushy, so you're just like, oh, put it on the side. kind of thing. So, which,
Oh wait, I thought that her wanting things on the side meant that she was pushy because she's like very particular about how she likes things.
yeah, but she wants to be a low maintenance girl, but she's actually a high maintenance girl.
Yeah. Well, I just like things how I like them.
Yeah, exactly.
High maintenance.
Yeah. So, if you've never watched When Harry Met Sally,
Totally should.
get on it. I use a reference from that in therapy probably once a week. So
I don't know.
she doesn't know.
I don't know. I told you I'm very indecisive. Nah. Okay. Mm-hmm. Keep my emotions under control. Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I would say under control, as in like I don't feel like I lash out at people. I think I express.
We'll have to have a conversation about what we view as under control emotions at another time. But
yeah, I think that's a really good topic because a lot of my clients, I think, have this misconception that like managing your emotions well means that you don't ever have them, which is not human. I don't think like, that's realistic to expect that you're not going to have emotions. I think it's what you do with them. How much of an influence you allow them to have on your behavior is where the issue comes in.
Again, another video for another time. We'll talk about like control of your emotions and what that looks like.
Yeah.
I'm kind of impressed so far because I think I had more questions that I was kind of waffling back and forth on than Bridget so far.
Like I said, I'm trying not to dwell on any of them.
Which is usually the opposite way, so it's kind of an interesting change.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, this is another hard one. Warm up quickly to others. So there's a lot of things that I think that my like Enneagram 6 is butting up against with these questions. If you don't know what an Enneagram 6 is, that's totally fine. They are nicknamed the Loyal Skeptic. So a lot of times my natural reaction to meeting new people or even people that I have known for a while, but I don't feel completely comfortable or completely safe with, I do question their motives quite a bit.
I'll say this without really answering the question about that one, which is that my wife, I think, has the like biggest, the best early detection sign of like somebody being less or more than what they appear at first. Like, I don't know how many times it's been like, I have a bad feeling about this person. And I'm like, we'll figure it out later. And then like, you know, a month, 2, 3 months later, I'm like, you got it. You nailed it. You figured it out. Right,
and a lot of times I can't put my finger on why. I just know like something about this person doesn't feel quite right. Like it seems like there's some piece of information that they're purposely keeping out.
Yeah.
And then I'll find out like months down the road why I felt that way.
And so there was a social worker that I used to work closely with, and he always said, your gut feeling is never wrong, it just might not be right. And basically meaning always trust your gut initially because it's better to be like overly cautious than miss something, which made sense with the population I was working with at the time. I think that that's an issue or a thing that kind of arises with Bridget lots of the times where like she senses something but doesn't know what it is. And sometimes it turns out to be nothing, but then lots of the times it turns out to be something that has been like hidden or not like talked about kind of thing. So just thoughts.
One of the statements on here was, I change my mind a lot.
Did you change your mind on answering the question?
I wasn't sure whether to put strongly agree or like mostly agree.
Get things done quickly. No, I think that's usually answer your own questions. It's not helpful. I'm not a very enthusiastic person. You're not
I don't know. I'm gonna go with 3 because it seems safe. Have a rich vocabulary. Yeah, sure. A person whose mood goes up and down easily. I'm not embarrassed easily. Strongly disagree.
I put strongly agree with that.
I am not embarrassed easily.
I put strongly.
You don't care. I think I'm gonna go with like 2. Like, part of me is just kind of like, yeah, I am who I am. I can't, certain things I can't change. So like, why bother? But like, also, I don't really like being in front of people. Like, even right now, there's like a high level of like anticipated embarrassment.
There's this other wonderful social worker who I have not met. Her name is Bené Brown. She talks in The Power of Vulnerability about how embarrassment is an emotion that is from yourself. So like basically you get embarrassed for yourself. Nobody else can embarrass you per se. I don't know if I 100% agree with it, but point being, when we're embarrassed, it's because we're getting embarrassed about something. And so just kind of a thought.
Seldom get lost in thoughts. I put a 1 or 2.
Don't have a sauce. Strong disagree. Decisions. Yes. Have a lot of fun. Okay. Have a lot of fun. That's so subjective.
It is a subjective
It's
test.
so subjective. I know, but like, what is a lot of? I mean, I have a lot of fun with you.
I have a lot of fun with you too.
Learn things slowly. It depends on the thing. I don't know. It depends on the thing. Get easily agitated. I'm easily agitated right now because I don't know, love a good fight. No. See that rules are observed. Yes. Am the first to act. Nah. Seldom daydream. No. Am afraid of many things. Yeah, a lot of them. Like to do things for others. Yeah. Am easily distracted. Sometimes not as much as other people. Laugh a lot. Yeah. Formulate ideas
just
clearly.
I'm so funny.
Sure. Yeah.
Can be easily set up. Sure. And out of my personal game. And out for my personal game. Like if I game in the meantime, like cool, but I don't think it's like my primary objective.
Want every detail taken care of? Yeah. Do not have an assertive personality. I'm gonna go with like neither agree nor disagree because I don't think that naturally I would choose to be assertive, but I think there's a lot of situations, especially in my career, that like I don't have much of a choice. Like if I want things to get done, I have to be assertive. Yeah. Like being in private practice, I can't just like sit and wait for people to like come find me. Like I have to do something to market myself. Mm-hmm. If I want to like build relationships with other people or other companies, like I have to be the one to go search them out. And yeah. So like, I think I would rather not be assertive because I don't like to be pushy, because that was one of the other questions. I hate being seen as being pushy, but I don't have much of a choice. I have to be kind of assertive. Yeah.
One thing that we probably could have said or should have said earlier is like, I don't know why they didn't put this on the thing, because this is usually the case with these kind of tests, is
congratulations, you have completed the assessment.
There is a 3 option, which is neither agree or disagree. Most of the time, these kind of things, the more you can avoid it, the better overall. So, it's just kind of a thought.
You can connect your assessment with the assessment of another user who has already completed it. Once connected, you'll each have access to a relationship report that will be included in the assessment scores for both you, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Hey guys, it's editing, Bridget. After taping our Big Five personality video, Adam and I realized that we had a lot more footage than we realized we did. So we decided to split it up into a couple of videos. So at some point we say like, oh yeah, come back and check in with us for like part two. That's probably going to end up being more of like a part three or even a part four, depending on how long our videos go. So sorry, it kind of starts and stops in like an awkward place, but we're just trying to make it as viewer friendly as possible so that you could find exactly what you're looking for, or at least closer to what you were looking for. So drop us a comment below. Let us know. Do you prefer kind of like long form videos like this, or would you rather more of like the short, kind of like informational little tidbits here and there? Adam and I are still kind of finding our groove when it comes to making YouTube videos, and he and I got different styles going on, so we're trying to find like a good happy medium kind of middle ground of what we both like to do. So do you prefer kind of like podcast style, kind of like two therapists discovering or talking about different like theories or approaches or concepts in the counseling world, or do you prefer more of like the just straightforward like here's five coping skill type things? We'll probably end up doing some kind of combination, but we just like to hear from you what you prefer to see. All right, so thanks so much for hanging out with us, and feel free to check out more of our videos. They will be somewhere.